Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Astral Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? Alright, check it out. Today we got a 2002 Mercury Sable LS, and today I am going to show you how to replace the right rear wheel cylinder. You can use this method for the left side also, but also we're going to show you why we're changing it. Coming up on Astral Auto Repairs. This channel is a member of the Astral Stars, which means we have a zero tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastralstars.com.
What's up, you two boys and girls? My name is Jay Young. This is our dog, Bruh. B-R-U-H. Like, what's up, Bruh? Welcome to the Astral Auto Repair. And me and Bruh got to ask you one question. Can you dig it? Can you? Can you dig it? I think you can.
Alright guys, we are set up. First thing you want to do is jack up the right rear. I'm using my hydraulic jack. And we got our jack stand up under there also. Very important, definitely put a jack stand up under your vehicle. Kuda has sent me a link not too long ago. A guy was killed because he had it up on the jack and didn't have jack stands, and the car came off and killed him, dead on the scene. You do not want that to happen over something so simple as doing a wheel cylinder or just checking up under the vehicle. You definitely want to have that jack stand up under there. And also, as equally as important, make sure you got a solid base that jack stand can be on. If you're on the dirt or ground, make sure you go up here, like we always keep in the truck. Make sure you have a big piece of, nice solid piece of wood that in case you're on dirt, and you can see the marks inside of there, that jack stand can sit on and it won't sink into the ground. All right? Check that out. All right. Next, what you want to do is take off. Emergency brakes on. Dang it. Take off our center cap, and you're gonna see a little opening right in there on the wheel. Just take your screwdriver in there, go around, and pop that right off, just like that. The next thing, you guys got 5 lugs holding this wheel on. Those lugs are either 3/4 or 19 millimeter. That's what you're going to be using. I'm going to be using a 19 millimeter half-inch drive socket along with my air gun. And we're going to be taking them off. Alright, so let's take those 5 off and we'll be right back. Alright guys, let's get our wheel off here. Now guys, there's 2 ways of doing this. One, we could just take off just the drum, or you can take off this center cap right here, this dust cover. There's a nut up under here, and you take off the whole hub and everything. But ours is right here. We are good to go. Now, if you look inside that drum, look at all that. Look at that. Look how that's messed up. So we're gonna have to clean all that up. So let's get you over here. Now, what happened? Well, the reason why we're changing this is because, like I said, look inside there. So we're gonna definitely have to clean all that up. The reason why we're changing this, because this thing was leaking. Check out the video when we check this out. There's seals inside here that leaks. And these seals, every time you step on the brakes, instead of it pushing the shoes out, half of the fluid is coming out of there, and that's what you see all this. Now, if you got a bunch of fluid over here, you're gonna have to replace these shoes as well. But this one ain't bad, so we're gonna be cleaning this up. Check that out. All right, guys, let's get ready. The next thing we're gonna do is let's get us a pan up under here, so all the fluid that drips out. And also, here's your brake hose right here. What you want to do is, because once we take this apart, brake fluid starts coming out, so you need to stop the brake fluid from coming out of there. So what you do is get this thing good. Then get you a pair of hose clamps. Put this one right here. You put it right about here. Squeeze it together. Bring that thing back. So now, when we take it apart, no fluid is going to come out of here. We're going to lose just a little bit, but so this we only have to bleed it not that much. All right, so let's get that. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our pan down here. We got our hose clamped off. The next thing we want to do, let's take a look at in the back of here. I need you to take a look at this. All right, here we go. This is the line, brake line going in to the wheel cylinder. That's a 13 millimeter flare nut, the nut right there. And then we have two 8 millimeters or 5/16 bolts. One right here, and where am I at? One right here. All right, the first thing you want to do, very important, get you some WD-40, and what you want to do is spray right around here, and spray the nuts if you want, bolts if you want, and that way, because a lot of times that nut will get seized up on the brake line, and then you go to loosen up and you break the brake line, and then you're looking for a world of headaches. So we're going to spray this up. Now, you don't have to use WD-40. Get whatever one that you like. All right, now we're going to let that set for a moment, and then we'll be right back. All right, for the next step, what you're going to need is a 13 millimeter line wrench. See that? That's a regular, like a close-in wrench with an opening, so you can put on the line and hook onto that nut you need to take off. So let's get back around here to the opposite side. And make sure we are looking at it. There we go. Now this is very important. What you got to do is go back and forth constantly, because in case there's rust on that line seizing up against that nut right there, that bolt, you definitely don't want to break that. You want to break that loose. So what we're going to do is get over here. Okay, and we're going to loosen it and keep going back and forth. Now you see how the whole line's moving? That's why you want to keep doing that and breaking that loose. And it's gonna take it, and you can see it's starting to go out of there, starting to loosen up. And if you have to, don't be cheesy with the WD-40. Keep on working that thing loose. There we go. Look at that. And you gotta, even though you got it loose, keep on going. Yeah, buddy. Spray a little bit more. Dang it, man. Come on, go ahead. There we go. Until that thing can move easy. There you go, guys. Now we're just gonna keep on doing that back and forth until we get that line completely out of there. We'll be right back. All right, guys, let's take a look back here. We got where am I at here? There we go. There we go. All right, we got our line all the way out. You can see I can push it back and forth a little bit. The next thing we're gonna do is get our two 8 millimeter or 5/16 bolts right here. And what I'm gonna use here is I'm using a 5/16 shallow socket 3/8 drive, my 3/8 drive ratchet. And let's get on this one bolt right here. What the heck is it? All right, let's get one. Dang it. You know what? This line is in my way now. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get me a 5/16 or 8 millimeter wrench. Be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Now, my wrenches are 12-point sockets, and I don't want a 12-point wrenches in there, and I don't want one. So what I'm gonna do is use my 1/4-inch drive ratchet, because this gets in there a lot better. I'm using a 1/4-inch 5/16, and I'm gonna get in there. Get that loose just like that. Yeah, buddy. All right, then I'm gonna take this off and get the bolt on the other side. Let's switch around here. Let's go on this side now. All right. Here we go. Here we go. And let's get both of those bolts out of here. Both bolts are exactly the same length, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. All right, let's get those out and we'll be right back. All right, guys, there we go. Got both our bolts out. Let's set our camera up right about here for our next step. Next step is, let's get this set right there, be better. Now, our wheel cylinder is ready to come out, but the thing is now, you see this spring right here? This spring is keeping those brake shoes into there, which will make it very difficult to come out. So what you want to do is get you a pair of needle nose vice grips or a pair of regular vice grips. Grab that spring right about there, pull it back, take that off, and you got this little clip right there. You can leave that there, so that way, see that, you can back that up, and then that's going to be kind of stuck. So what you're going to need to do is get you a flat screwdriver, stick behind the wheel cylinder and the backing plate. Just wiggle that right out, just like that. Open those up. Pop that right out of there, just like that. Yeah, buddy. Let's put that down. There's our brake line coming through there. Now, you can see right now, turning this by hand, this nut by hand sucks. So what we're going to do is get our 13mm line wrench back here. And we're going to bring this back up. Wiggle that back and forth. Get that back up to the front of the line. Goes to show you how much rust was in here. Dang it, man, this thing is, spray this a little bit. Because this will make it a lot easier for you to put this back together. Better off getting an open-end wrench. Or closing wrench, actually. What the heck? Is that thing even moving? This is bogus, man. You know what, guys? Let me get me a closed wrench so this thing will stop slipping off from back here. And we'll try to get you at a better angle. Be right back. All right, got me a closed-in 13mm wrench. So I can stop slipping off of there. And I just gotta keep on working this thing back and forth and try to get it to go up to that beginning of that line. Man, this is a lot of rust on this thing. I guess I gotta keep on spraying it. You should be able to, look at that, I can see the rust coming out of there. You want to be able to turn this thing by hand, spin that nut by hand, so you can start it going into the new wheel cylinder, and there'll be no problems, because you do not want to cross thread this thing. it's coming up there, but man, it's working this thing back and forth sucks. Oh man. Alright guys, I ain't gonna hold you up. You see I'm having a hard time with this. So we're just gonna keep on working this back and forth to get that nut up to the end of that line. Be right back. Alright guys, we got that to a point where we can reach back there and turn this by hand, and that's definitely what you want to do. The next thing you want to do is get you a rag and clean off around where the wheel cylinder is going to set at, because you want to make sure it sets flush. Now get your new wheel cylinder. But before we put our new wheel cylinder on, to make sure this goes on easy, here's your bleed screw. Pop that bleed screw out, and just for you, this bleed screw is a 10mm. All right, and on the back of this, you're gonna have a little sealer right there to stop some dirt and all getting in. Pull that little boot right out of there, that little plug. Pull it out. Now, next thing, you notice our brake shoes, how they got points right there? On each side of your wheel cylinder, it's got those points too. You got to make sure when you put that in there that they're going to be lined up just like this. There's the wheel cylinder, and they're going to be straight up and down. They should come like that in the box, but just in case they don't. Now, to bolt this up, the bolts are on the bottom, so you want to make sure the bolts are on towards the bottom. And what we're going to do is put our wheel cylinder in here. You know what? We're gonna tell you guys. You know what we're gonna do? This don't make no sense. Let's bring this back like this. Well, I mean, we can't take this out, but I'm trying to do this without it. Yeah, let's take that apart, because what we got to do is get this screwed in here first. Matter of fact, we can do that. We want to get that screwed in here first by hand, so in that way we know we're not going to be cross-threading it. And once we got in by a couple threads, perfect. Let's back these brake shoes up. Twist it. Get it lined up in there. Get it lined up in there. Perfect. They're lined up. Now we're going to go up here and make sure this is going into the backing plate straight. Great. So far we are looking good. Now before we go any further, what we're going to do is go to the back. Let me wipe my hands off here. And what we're going to do is take one of our bolts and we're going to put it in there to start putting this wheel cylinder on. Where the heck the bolt at? Where's the bolt on? Right there. Alright, going to put it in there like that. And we're going to start turning it by hand. Whoops. To get that started in there. Now, can I set this camera up in a way that... Get that turned in by hand. Now, what you might have to do is wiggle the wheel cylinder back and forth. I like it starting to. Now, see, one hand's got to twist this back and forth, wiggle it, while the other hand starts that bolt going in. So let me see if I can set you up around here somewhere. Alright. barely out of. There it is. Cool. Got one started. There you go. Where's my other one at? Here we go. Go over here. And get my other one started. Bam. Look at that. Now let's get our 1/4" drive ratchet with our 5/16 or 8mm socket on it. And we can go ahead and there tighten these up. Okay, let's reach over here to the other side. And tightening these up, what you want to do is go till it stops and just a little bit more. It stops, a little bit more. Let's go back over this side. Stop, a little bit more. Now, got that bolted in. Now we're going to take our 13mm line wrench and we're going to go ahead and tighten this brake line up. And remember, you definitely want to get this started before you put that in there so it's not cross threading. Alright, so let's get that tightened up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got that tightened up. Next we're going to do, by hand, we're going to go ahead and put our bleeder screw back in there. Put that in by hand for now. Now, you see I had a little difficulty up in the front. Now what you want to do, if you can, take off these little clips right here, and that way you can get that out there more, so you don't have to worry about that. But we did it this way. The next thing we're going to do, let's put our little clip back in here. Okay, perfect. Now let's get our spring in there. Here's our needle nose. And bring that over. Lock into place. Perfect. Now let's get us some brake cleaner, carburetor cleaner. We need to clean all this up real good. Be right back. Alright, this is very important, guys. You definitely want to clean all this up, especially your brake shoes. All your hardware. Don't be cheesy with the spray either. Yeah, you can actually see how nice and clean that is. Now, if these things were saturated with brake fluid, I would clean these up and they still be shiny from the brake fluid. So we know they are still A-okay. So let's clean this up some more. And then what we're going to do, which is equally important, we're going to clean up inside these drums. Look at all that stuff in there. We need to get that all that out of there. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are looking good. Got our drum cleaned up. Now, before we put our drum on, I'm going to show you that we got to adjust the brakes. And there's our adjusting wheel right inside there. Now, for this procedure, what you're going to need is a flat screwdriver or an adjusting spoon. Some of you guys are like, what the heck is drum brakes anyway? Alright, check it out. Behind our backing plate over here, let's go over here and try to get a look at this. Actually, it's going to be on this side. You see that little hole right there? That's where your adjusting spoon is going to go in. And what you're looking to do here, back over this side, is you're going to turn that wheel inside of there. And what that does is adjust your brakes, bring your brake shoes out. And you want to bring them out just till they just touching. I mean, barely touching the drum. Don't adjust it too much or you can cause a fire. It will heat these brakes up like you wouldn't believe. So you bring it out just a little bit. Now, if your self-adjusters are working correctly, what you can do is back the car up in reverse, hit on the brakes, and it's supposed to adjust that. But that don't work anyway. Now watch what happens. I'm gonna take my adjusting spoon, put it back there, and what I'm gonna do is start from the bottom and pick it up. Now watch that wheel turn. So that wheel turn. Do it again. And that's adjusting the brakes, but you cannot adjust it. Now you can adjust it with the thing off, and then you got to try to put it on and make sure and all that. But it's better to put the drum on and then adjust it. All right, you see right here? And right now, that's too loose. So what you got to do is adjust that until there's just barely enough drag on it. I mean, a very low drag. All right, let's adjust that and we'll be right back. All right, we adjusted it. Watch, let me back up here. Now look at this. I can still turn it easy, but you can listen. You can hear it just barely touching. That's what you want. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is our little clamp right here, hose clamp. We can take that off now. That's done. Let's fill this up with brake fluid, and then we're gonna have somebody help us, of Sylvia of course, to bleed the brakes. And what she's going to do is step on the brake pedal, pump the brake pedal up, hold it down, and when she holds it down, that's when I'm going to open up this bleeder screw and fluid's going to come out of here. You want to do it at about, it's going to take about 3 or 4 times, and then this wheel is going to be bled. You're looking for a straight stream to come out of here. All right, so you want to make sure you grab your 10mm wrench. Oh, that's right. You got to take this little boot off right here. Little cover. We're gonna put that back on when we're done. What the heck, man? Get off of there. All right, there we go. All right, so this is what's gonna happen here. Where is this at, man? Okay, so she's gonna come say pump it up, and I'm gonna say hold it down. When she holds down, I'm gonna open it up and then close it. That's what you do. Then say do it again, pump it up, hold it down. All right, and then you're gonna see the fluid come out of here. All right, so let's make sure we got brake fluid in this. Check out what brake fluid you need. Matter of fact, we'll get up there and I'm gonna show you in a minute. Bear back. All right, guys, here we go. We're up under the hood. What you're gonna do is take off your brake fluid cap. Let's get this out in the sun. You read it, you look for it, and there it is down there. .3. Yeah, you got that. So what we want to do is fill this up with some .3 fluid, and here we go right here. We got some .3 because there is .3, .4, and I believe a .5 also. So we're going to fill this up, then close back up the cap, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are all ready. Another thing I wanted to point out, if you're in a tight situation where you don't have nobody to help bleed them, what you can do is what's called gravity bleed. And gravity bleed is what you want to do. You got your bleeder screw here. Pop that bleeder screw open. Let it sit there, just like that, until the fluid starts coming out by itself. And believe me, eventually it will. It might take a few minutes or so, but you can do that as well. As a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is leave that open, and before we bleed the brakes, I want to show you what I mean. Hopefully some fluid starts coming out here in the next few minutes. But once fluid starts coming out of there by itself, and the only thing it has to do is from this point on, when we crimped off the line, the fluid's got to come all the way through there, go around, and then it's going to come up and go right out of there. A good thing you want to do is also have the cap off All right, so the air pressure can go down, push down from the master cylinder, and it'll eventually push out of here. Definitely make sure you have the cap off. All right, but Sylvia's almost ready, so what we're gonna do is close this off. Get our wrench. You want to put this tight. All right, and let me know when you're ready. All right, pump it up. Hold it down. See the air come out of there, guys? Then close it back up. Pump it up. Hold it down. There's number 2. As I said, about 3 or 4 times. Pump it up. Hold it down. Now remember, you want to make sure you close this up before you tell that person to let go of that brake pedal or pump it up again. So you open it up. Let the fluid come out. Look at that nice stream. A little bit of air right there. Close it up. All right, one more time. Pump it up. Hold it down. Perfect. Look at that. Close it off tight. Get our little boot right here. Close it off. We are done. Yeah, buddy. We'll be right back. Alright, guys. That is it. Next thing you know, put our tire back on. Make sure you tighten up the lugs, because if you don't tighten up the lugs, you ain't got to worry about your brake stopping this car, because once that tire come off, that thing gonna be stopping by itself. Alright, and that is a job well done. Yeah. No, wait a minute. Yeah, buddy. Alright, we'll be right back.
Okay, so that's how you change a rear wheel cylinder on a 2002 Mercury Sable. This is an LS with 3.0 engine, and it has 94,000 miles. No miles at all, might as well say. So if you have any comments or questions, you can post it below in the comments section, or you can email Timmy at tim@astralautorepairs.com. Hope you paid attention. If not, watch it again. This is Sylvia from Astral Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. See you next time.